Hello, beautiful divine beings. Happy Monday, guys. I just got asked, like, what's wrong with your voice? What happened to it? My masculinity came out today. No, I got sick. I gave myself the lujo of the luxury of getting childcare to really take my coaching business and the productivity level to a next level. And so my kids have they started going with the babysitter next door, and I didn't know that they were sick before I started sending my kids over. And my little baby started kissing the neighbor, and so you got everybody sick. So I have a cough the past 2 days. We had some coughs going on, but it's all clearing up. It's all good. I wanted to come on here because I'm still inspired to come on. My habitual self within me knows it's Monday. We got goals. We got goals to get achieved. And we're also, before I go any further, because I want to talk about, I named today's live, this goal will help you get clear on why you do what you do. Before I go into talking about that, first I want to thank you for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time. I hope you're having an absolutely magical day. I want to give love to my husband. Yesterday was his birthday, and we celebrated his birthday on Saturday with his mother and with all his family. My mother and my siblings came over too, and we spent Saturday together. It was amazing. It was fun. He had an amazing time, and it's just like and then on Sunday we had an amazing time, which was his birthday. We had a cookout, we had ceviche, it's bomb. But I really just wanted to give love to my husband for a minute. Like, he has played such a huge part. I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for the love that comes off of this beautiful man. Like, oh, look, you're watching. Like, I just want to, like, really appreciate him for a minute, because he has been there for his family, for my family, for our family. Like, he is the definition of divine masculinity as a family man. And it's just like, he is dominant, and I just love it, because it's like, somebody mentioned, it's like, oh, you're masculine, dominant, Susan. It's just like, no. In our relationship, my husband's masculine, and I'm feminine. When it comes to working, this is me expressing my masculine energy, baby. I'm doing it. I'm not trying that hard. This is the effortless way of making it happen. I don't have to hustle. This ain't hustling. This is pleasure. And it's really come from being able to allow my husband to take that, to fill that masculine space. And he's done it so beautifully over the years, over and over again. And which leads me to also saying, like, just want to acknowledge how he pays for our children's education. I've recently had questions. I've had conversations. Love you, baby. I've had questions about my children's schooling, and it's just like, oh yeah, my husband pays for my children's education. He privately homeschooled. Like, we privately homeschool them, and I don't keep up with politics. The things I bring up when I talk about things that are happening in society, I do so because my husband he loves being informed. And I'm right next to him when I kind of hear that stuff, and some things that he knows it's just going to light me up, and I'm going to be able to really find a constructive way of expressing my feelings. He'll show me, and a lot of the things that he's shown me about the public educational system has blown my mind. Like, it's been outrageous to see a lot of things that are being adopted into the educational system. And I also wanted to just bring out to the table, I was having this conversation where they're like, it's hard to be able to, like, we can't control what's going on in public schools, about how we live in a very hypersexualized and hypersensitive world, that all these improper influences are influencing our children through the public educational system. Be aware of those who regulate and are in control of what's being shown and taught in public schools. And so I just like to say, because when we first started homeschooling our kids, and I promise this is going to tie back to the title, but when we started the homeschooling our kids, I got really questioned, like, how are you, like, what, you guys are just traveling now? It's like, I'm in one setting. I'm on vacation. I've been on vacation until I feel like it. But I'm going to get to a point where we're traveling and we're on a weenie bagel and we're traveling all over the United States, and we finally jump over to Canada and we start traveling all over Canada, and we have the liberty to be able to educate our children wherever we go. Most people believe that they have to send their children to public school, that it is an obligation, that it is by law. And it is, you have to provide some type of education. And it's all different depending on what state you live in. But here in Texas, you have to educate your children. By the age of 5 years old, the parent needs to provide proof that you are taking your child to, that they are being provided some type of educational curriculum. And so there's laws to this. But most parents get blinded off. And you know what? I want to thank COVID for this, because I didn't homeschool my kids. I had my daughter an ABC Mouse in the beginning, but once all the kids started coming in, and I had all 4 kids, and then COVID happened, I ended up, remember everybody had to stop going to school, and my kids everybody got homeschooled, and then one thing led to another that they all went back to public school. But once the last school year finished, we made the decision that we didn't want our children to be in public school anymore. That we wanted to continue. When we wanted to start traveling, we wanted to really bring on this vacation vibe, that we can go wherever, whenever we want, do whatever we want, and we're not bounded to any public educational system or any type of the sorts of being stuck in one location. So we made the decision. Hey Siri, I hope you're doing amazing. We made the decision of putting our kids into public school. I mean, private homeschool, and it's been absolutely amazing. But during the time that we were in public school, my kids ended up missing a couple days, and so we ended up going to court. Like, oh, if you miss school, you'll end up, they'll take you to court. If your kids don't go to school, they'll take you to court. Yes. That's true. That's very true. If your children are registered to the public educational system and they don't abide to the attendance, they can take you to court. And one thing that I remember when we were sitting there with the judge was that he said, education. Oh my gosh! I just lost my trail of thought, and it always comes in the back of my head. I can't believe I just forgot it right now. Where it's like, you can only be successful through education. And it's just like, I believe that to be true to a certain extent, but education isn't the only way to success. That's what he said. Education is the only way to success. And I was like, we sat there for 21 minutes. It was like in and out. It was like a slap in the hand. We got to go. But that stuck with me. That education is the only way to success. And I don't believe that to be fully true. I believe that self-awareness is. Self-education. To go within yourself. To understand yourself emotionally. To really practice being a present, happy, service-oriented human being who knows how to emotionally regulate themselves and intentionally have a positive mental attitude. That gives you success. That gives you guaranteed success. Promise. That's a guarantee. If you go within. So, I just wanted to point that out because it's stuck with me forever. It's been since it happened. And so, I you know what I just said, I take it to be true. Because what I'm doing, everything I know, it's not because I went to some school or I learned it through some certification. I learned it through experience. I learned it through going within myself. I tell clients, nothing makes me, I love when they tell me, oh, I wish I can be able to emotionally break everything down in my brain the way you explained it to me. Or I wish I could be as bossed up as you can. And it's just you're doing it. What you see in me is something you see within yourself. Your capability to be able to emotionally regulate yourself is something that you have within yourself. It's embedded in you. And that's what it really comes down to. Emotions. But before I go on to start talking about emotions, I want to go back talking about the privilege, the goal. It is a privilege to be able to educate my kids online. And I think that One, parents should know that if you have the desire to really educate your children, you don't have to have them in public school. There's ways for you to be able to to educate your own children, and for you to educate your children, have your children in a safe environment where you're in control of what is being taught and what you believe is appropriate for your child to be taught at the age level that they're at. That's one thing. But I also want to mention, like, okay, for a parent that's like, okay, I know that I can educate my child on my own, but it's downright impossible now, because even if I had the desire to educate my own child and spend more time with my child and homeschool them, I can't, because I have to go to work to financially provide for them. See, the system is intentionally created for, it's like I'm using the words I don't want to use. I want to use other words. There is like, it's impossible. There is a design. There's a beautiful design. It's not beautiful at all. That is put into place for parents to make it almost impossible for them to be able to spend time with their children. Like, even if you had the desire to homeschool your child, because you're in your legal right to educate your own children, they make it impossible, because you have to financially provide for them. And if you don't have your own business, if you don't work from home, and if you don't have the time to be able to educate your children, you won't do it. And I think that's just so mind-blowing that there was a couple years ago where I had my kids in public school, where we were exchanging our time for money, where it was literally like clock in, clock out. Like, I get money doing what I love, and I'm in control of my time. I'm in control of when I work. I'm in control of my family time. I'm in control. I made my schedule. I don't go to a work schedule and then plan my life around that work schedule. And I think that it's so motivating as an entrepreneur, somebody who is working towards not only financial, because when you become an entrepreneur, when you start network marketing and working on whatever online business, you have the goal of a money goal, right? I need this much money so that I can do this. And I need this much money so that I can do this. But this is what I'm focusing on. The money's going to come. Don't focus on the money. I want you to focus on this is the goal. Like, this is the goal that will help you get clear on why you do what you do. I do what I do because I love being able to be in control of my time. I love being able to educate my own children and be in control of what my children are being educated in. They're being educated on fundamentals. They're not being educated on sexuality, gender, religion, none of that stuff. That stuff that we weren't taught when we were in school, that was intentionally out of the system, now that is intentionally now in the system. Like, I'm in control of what my kids see. I'm in control of how much quality time, family time I spend with my kids. And I think that's the super goal. Like, the money will come. Being in the act of service, of helping others. Like, if you have a real intention of helping yourself and helping others, the law of compensation is there. You're working the law of compensation. You give and you receive. You give and you receive. It's just it's science, it's law. It's like universal laws. You gotta go do your research on these universal laws. I don't want to spoil it. You gotta wait. Not yet. It's like when things are in the thought process and they're growing, you can't share them yet. But is something magical gonna come with these universal laws, because they're so important for people to understand? There's so many man laws in every state, in every country. But these universal laws, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, they apply to you. Like the law of gravity, it's constant, it's forever flowing, and it applies to everybody. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have, they're constant. So universal laws, we're definitely going to be going into them a lot. You know, my main focus is the law of gender, masculine and feminine principles. That's my game, that's my space. But because it's an emotion. And so today, because I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to the Divinely Aligned Collective and we're talking about the 10 mind stimuli. We're talking about sex transmutation over there. But I'm going to end it here on how having the desire to spend more time with your family that's the goal that's really going to help you get to where you want to go, because you have to know why. Why are you doing what you do? Why do you show up online? Why do you show up at your job? Or why do you show up and do what you do? Is it because you're going to get the results that you want? Like the result of spending more time with the people you love? Being in control of when you spend that time with the people you love? Like, I think those are the things that kind of just go to the side when it comes to entrepreneurship. Because entrepreneurship, a lot of the things I see is like, come here and I'll teach you how to make 10K in a month. And I'll teach you how to make money. And I got the cheat sheet and I got the recipe and I got stir fry and all that shit. Like, it's so beautiful. But I think the real focus point, what's really going to make the difference in getting you the results that you want, is one, understanding that you are emotionally understanding yourselves. We are all human beings intentionally learning to understand ourselves. And the more we understand ourselves, and the more we understand why we do what we do, the more drive and the more fire we light under ourselves to get to where we want to go. So I hope that has served you in a way. Just put a 1 in the comments if it resonated, if it made sense to you, just so that I know that what's coming out of my mouth makes sense. Okay. But yeah, that is what I wanted to share with you guys. I love and appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time, and take care, guys. I'll see you guys then. Oh, I'll invite you to the Divinely Aligned Collective. I'll put the group link here to make it easy for you guys in the comments to join. All right, I'm done. Love you. Bye.